Climate change isn't something people get to choose to believe or not. It's happening. So, hello and welcome. I'm your host, Dr. Ruby Gill, and I feel privileged to extend my warm welcome to all on the behalf of Lovely Professional University. So, attendees, we all are gathered here to witness an incredible session on the topic climate change and agriculture, impact and adaptation. For this, we have our expert along with us. So before we commence, allow me to introduce the expert of the day, Dr. Bhupendra Matpal, Associate Professor and COD, Academic Operations, School of Agriculture, Lovely Professional University. An extremely intelligible and a dynamic personality with more than 10 years of an experience as an academician. With more than 3 years of research experience, he has an expertise in plant nutrition, biochemical, and other fields as well. He has, to his credit, more than 20 publications and attended various conferences and has been awarded with Young Scientist Award. In addition to his research, Dr. Matpal is a dedicated educator with a passion for teaching and mentoring students, and moreover, he has supervised numerous research projects for undergraduate and graduate students as well. So, sir, it's a privilege to have you on board with us today. Thank you so much for joining us. With equal pleasure, I would like to welcome our admission nominee, Ms. Rachna Bajaj, Assistant Officer, Lovely Professional University. And attendees today, she'll be discussing about the admission part of the university and other highlights of the university. So ma'am, thank you so much for giving us your valuable time. Thank you so much for joining. So sir, with this, we'll begin today's webinar. Over to you and looking forward for a great interactive session.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the introduction. So I'm going to just deliver this webinar on the climate change and the agriculture, so its impact and the adaptations. So as we all know that there is a direct correlation between the climatic conditions and the agriculture. And nowadays we are also seeing that the abrupt changes in the climatic conditions. So this particular topic, it will be quite relevant nowadays. So very first of all, we should know that what is the meaning of the climate change. So basically climate change, these are the long-term changes in the atmospheric conditions. There are two words, there are two different terms, the one that is the climate and the another one weather. So basically, we should know the difference between these two terms. So climate is the long-term atmospheric conditions of a particular region, while the weather, these are the short-term atmospheric conditions of a particular region. So if the mean state of the climate, it will be changed, or the atmosphere will be changed significantly because of any natural or the anthropogenic region in the long term, that will be considered as the climate change. So basically there are few of the causes of the climate change. Nowadays there are some natural causes and there are some anthropogenic causes or the human causes. If we talk about the natural causes, these are the continental drift. So sometimes the drifting of the continent takes place. So because of that, the change in the climatic conditions takes place. Volcanoes are there, earth tilt is there, then ocean currents are there. So these are certain natural causes. But if we talk about the major causes which are responsible for the change in the climatic conditions, so these are human causes. So among various type of the human causes, the major one are the emission of the greenhouse gases. So emission of the greenhouse gases, it can be because of any human activity. Then second one, deforestation. Nowadays urbanization is taking place. So population density, it is increasing at a particular point on the earth surface. So because of that, what is happening, that the concentration of the CO2 is increasing, the concentration of the greenhouse gases are increasing, food waste is there, Then chemical fertilizers, application of the chemical fertilizers. So sometimes some volatile chemical fertilizers, they are also being applied in the agriculture land. It is contaminating the atmosphere. It is responsible for the climate change. It is deteriorating the soil fertility. Then what are the different climatic changes which we are facing nowadays? So there are three different types, or we can categorize these climatic changes in three different categories. So the first category, these are the direct effects like morphological changes. The change in the morphology of the plants takes place. Physiological changes which are affecting the physiology of the crop plants. Then the phenotypic changes. So sometime what happens because of the climate change, the change in the climatic conditions, what is happening? The various cycles they are changing which takes place in the plants, and ultimately all the changes are affecting the crop productivity or the plant productivity. Then if I talk about the indirect effects, it is soil fertility, it is deteriorating day by day because of the extensive application of the chemical fertilizers, because of desertification, because of the erosion, irrigation availability. There is the reduction in the water table in the soil. So one example I want to give, like 15 to 20 year back, around the water level in soil of the Punjab region, it was available at hardly 20 feet. But now I think it has been reached up to the depth of more than 200 feet. Rise in the sea level because of the melting of the glaciers or like that. Incidence of the insects and the pests, it is increasing day by day. Heat, flood and drought. So these are some indirect effects of the climate change. Then if I talk about the socio-economic, how these climatic changes, they are affecting the society, the human beings. Food demand, it is increasing. It is not uniform. Farmers' responses, cost, it is affecting the cost of the agriculture products. So sometimes the products are not available at the time of the requirement, and if these are available at a very high cost, it is affecting the policymakers also. Generally, the policymakers, they make a particular policy for the long term, but because of the sudden climatic changes, change in the climatic conditions, now there is a condition of the dilemma that whether this policy will work for the long period of the time or not. It is affecting the trade also. Then unequal distribution is there. As I have already told you that there will be the unequal distribution. Food demand, if the food demand will increase in some of the regions, at the same time, there will be the reduction in the demand at the other place because of the alteration in the population density in patches. So there will be the uneven or unequal distribution of the food takes place. So because of or by adopting the different I can say the interventions, human interventions, by adopting adaptation strategies, mitigation strategies, all these climate change it can be taken care. Now the impact of the climate change on the agriculture. So as I am from the background of the agriculture, so I will talk what is the effect of the climate change on the agriculture and what kind of the challenges we will face in the upcoming years, and how challenges leads to the opportunities also. So although there are challenges in the upcoming years in the field of agriculture, because the population is changing. I can say sometimes there is the sudden flood conditions, sometimes there is the melting of the glaciers, sometimes there are the avalanche kind of the conditions. So because of that, what is happening, the challenges will be in the near future. Water quality, it is deteriorating day by day. Our soil fertility is deteriorating day by day. So there are the challenges, but at the same time, challenges, as I have already told, challenges leads to the opportunities also. So there are so many things. So first we will discuss the impact. So the first of all, how the climate change is affecting the crop productivity. So you can see data of it is the IPCC. It is the data released by the IPCC in 2022 only. So climate change, basically rising temperature, change in the rainfall pattern. Recently, we have seen that initially in the beginning of the March, we were thinking that this time the temperature will reach maybe or it will break all the records. But suddenly what happens after the 20th of the March, there was the sudden rainfall. It was the untimed rainfall. So right now, it is not the time of the rainfall actually. But what happens? Because this is the time of the ripening of the wheat and the other crops. So completely, if we compare the pattern of the rainfall 20 years back and today, it has been changed completely. The duration of the total rainfall, it has been the number of the days of the rainfall decreased, but the intensity of the rainfall, it has been increased. So because of that, and similarly, the rainfall is taking place in off seasons. So because of that, it is affecting the crop productivity. So earlier, I was reading one report only just 1 week back. So this time there was the estimate that this time the wheat production will reach at the maximum. But because of this untimed rain, what happened? Till date, 15% losses in the productivity of the wheat, it has been taken place only in Punjab region. And most of the districts of the Punjab, they are affected by this particular untimed rainfall. So these are and at the same time, at some of the in some of the places, the rainfall is taking place with a very high intensity, but at the same time, there are the droughts also. Some of the regions, they are facing the problems of the drought also. So you can see this one. This is the report of the IPCC. So year-wise, the data, it is showing that how the productivity, it has been decreased because of the drought-related factors and the other climate-related factors. So you can see the circles, their size, it is increasing with years. So by 2050 might be, if we will not be able to control the human causes of the climate change, then might be we have to pay, the cost in terms of the loss of the soil fertility, and ultimately and we have to pay lots of the other costs also. Then the pest and disease, how the climate change, it is, so because of the climate change, the incidence of the pest and the disease, it increase. So change in the climatic condition, it can lead to the emergence of the new pest also, diseases also. Because pests, diseases, weeds, they are having the unique quality. They can withstand very high temperature, extreme temperature conditions, drought conditions, they can withstand in comparison to the crops. So under the extreme temperature conditions or under the extreme environmental conditions, the growth of the pest, disease, and the weeds takes place in multiple ways. So this is the another area in the field of the agriculture where the challenges will be increased in the upcoming years. And if the incidence of the pests and the diseases will increase, so accordingly, definitely there will be more requirement of the chemicals to control these pests and diseases, these insects, these weeds, and it will again deteriorate the soil quality. It will deteriorate the quality of the agriculture foods, agriculture products. Then the water availability. Climate change, it is also affecting the availability of the water. So as I have already told, change in the rainfall pattern is taking place. And in some of the places, what is happening, there is the condition of the drought, but at the same time, in some of the other regions, in some of the other places, the flood is taking place. So it is called the unequal distribution of the rainfall, change in the rainfall pattern also. So ultimately, if there will be any alteration in the rainfall pattern or in the availability of the pure water, then it will ultimately affect the crop. It will ultimately affect the livestock and the irrigations. So this particular figure, you can see it is indicating that how much, how much the scarcity of water there will be by 2050. So you can see in the Asian countries, India is also visible over here. There will be the high scarcity. These dots are indicating there will be the scarcity of the water by 2050. Then soil degradation because of the climate change. So many changes are taking place in the agriculture field, and soil degradation is one of them. So what is happening, as I have already told you, climate change, increasing temperature, drought, it will increase the incidence of the pests and insects. So what will happen? We have to apply the more chemicals, we have to apply the more chemicals, we have to apply the more chemical herbicides. So ultimately these chemicals will not be suitable for the agricultural land or for the soil. So what will happen by the continuous application of these chemical fertilizers, by the drought conditions, the fertility of the soil will be degraded, earth crusting will take place, desertification will take place, the salt accumulation will take place, and ultimately it will deteriorate the quality of the soil. It will deteriorate the fertility of the soil, which ultimately affect the productivity. Then after that, the livestock production. Not only the soil, not only the productivity of the crop plants, it will also affect the productivity of the livestock. So you can see there are already we have discussed what are the different direct impacts of the climate change. So how these direct impacts or the direct effects of the climate change will affect the productivity of the livestock, you can see. So it will, if the temperature will rise, it will create the heat stress, and because of the heat stress, disease and death rate will be increased, reduced reproduction there will be, okay, declined production there will be, immunosuppression there will be, oxidative stress there will be, and metabolic disorders will take place. So these are certain, and it will also affect the health and the productivity of the livestock also. The quality of the milk will be affected. Then after that, the food security. So we have already just seen that near about each and every area of the agriculture, it will be affected by the climate change, whether it is crop productivity, whether it is incidence of the insect and pest, whether it is the livestock's life. So what happens, it will ultimately affect the food security, because population is increasing day by day. And there are estimates that by 2050, the population will reach by 10 billion. So we will be having so many challenges to feed such a huge population. And agricultural land is shrinking day by day because of the urbanization, because of the industrialization. It is shrinking, but the population is increasing. So there will be a very big challenge of ensuring the food security. So food security, basically there are 4 different components. Food availability there will be. The first important point related to the food security is the food availability. So because of the shrinking of the agriculture land, the food availability will be one challenge. It will be challenging that whether we will be able to produce such a large quantity of the food or not. That will be. Then food accessibility. Sometime what will happen, if it will be available in the market, if the farmers will produce, and if it will be available in the markets, whether the population will be able to access it or not, because it will affect the income of the population also. It will also affect the buying capacity of the society also. So whatever the food will be available, whatever the food will be produced, whether it will be accessible for the population or not. Then food utilization, that is also very important. Then food stability, for how much time it will be produced, it will be accessible. That is also challenging. So these are certain challenges which are related to climate change and how the climate change is affecting. Then mitigation or mitigating climate change. Now how we can take care of all these changes. We have to improve, we have to use improved cultivars and the agronomic practices. Okay, so we have to go for the improved cultivars which can tolerate these extreme environmental conditions. So sometime the temperature is reaching around 46, 48 degrees centigrade. So we need to grow, we need to identify which can tolerate these extreme environmental conditions, these extreme temperature conditions. Similarly, we need to identify kind of the cultivars which can grow, which can be grown. Identification of the suitable root stock, it is again the same thing. Then identification of the appropriate root stock for a particular region under certain environmental condition. We have to identify the suitable root stocks which can be grown under given climatic conditions, which can produce more, yield. On-farm irrigation and water management, as I have given the example of the reduction of the water table. So we have to improve our irrigation methods. We have to go for the proper water management so that the need of the agriculture sector, it can be also fulfilled along with the requirement of the growing population, because agriculture is the sector where maximum utilization of the quality water takes place. The pure water required for agriculture in the maximum amount. So there is a need to reduce the wastage of the pure water, and need to go for the improved irrigation facilities. Then change in the cropping pattern and the crop systems. We need to change the cropping patterns also. You know, this year 2023, it has been announced the year of the millets, because millets, they use less water, they require less water to grow, to produce the grains, and they are very rich in the fibers, they are very rich in the carbohydrates, proteins. So that is why the government, they are just emphasizing on adopting the diversification rather than growing a particular kind of the crop. Sometime in some of the states, farmers grow only a particular type of the crop every year. They grow only rice and wheat. But we need to check whether we will be able to address the problem of the climate change by growing these crops again and again. This is a very big question. So that is why we need to change the cropping system. We need to change the crop pattern. We need to adopt suitable root stocks. We need to go for the selection of the improved varieties, improved cultivars. We need to change the crops also. Water and soil moisture conservation. We need to go for the water conservation methodologies. We need to adopt. We need to harvest the rainwater, and then we have to just use it in the off seasons or in the non-rainy days. We have to adopt so many or the different strategies to conserve the soil moisture. For that, there is a requirement to reduce the utilization or the application of the chemical fertilizers to improve the organic matter in the soil, so that the water holding capacity of the soil, it can be improved. There is a need of the requirement or to take the collective actions, policies to frame the such kind of the policies under the climatic conditions. So there is a need to take the collective actions by all the peoples. If policymaker will make the policy, but who will ultimately implement that particular policy? So at that particular time, each and every individual should understand the responsibility. Then agroforestry and forestry interventions need to be incorporated. Training and capacity building is required. Sometimes some of the people, the farmers, they want to do, but because of the lack of the training, they cannot. There is a need to give the timely training about the improved irrigation methodologies, what are the new cropping patterns, new cropping system, so that these can be implemented at the ground level. Then local knowledge based on the adaptations also. So local knowledge is required. Water, sanitation, and the hygiene related adaptations are also need to be explored. Then only we can just manage all these impacts of the climate change for the better future. Now, I want to give a brief idea about the opportunities for the agriculture graduates. So agriculture graduates, they can go for the higher studies, they can go for the research, they can go for the jobs, they can be government and the private jobs, then they can go for the startups and the entrepreneurship. So there are different areas, there are different sectors where the agriculture graduates, ample opportunities in the government and the private organizations are available for the agriculture graduates. So these are the list of the jobs, these are the key jobs, but apart from these, there are so many others also. Agriculture development officer, extension officer, agriculture officer, plantation manager, then officer in quality assurance in the related fields, production manager. There are so many others also where the agriculture graduates can go. Subject matter specialists in different Krishi Vigyan Kendras. Recently, last month, ICR advertised so many subject matter specialized posts for the agriculture students. And senior technical officer also. So many posts are there related to the senior technical officer also. These are advertised by the Indian Council of Agriculture Research. Then why LPU? Why the students should choose the LPU for the BSc Honors Agriculture? Because our School of Agriculture, it is accredited by the ICR, Indian Council of Agriculture Research, and we are also affiliated by the Punjab State Council for Agriculture Education. So we are having the accreditation from the regulatory body of the state level as well as the central level. Then these are the various programs which we are offering, like UG programs are there, BSc Honors Agriculture. Then if I talk about the master's programs, so we are offering MSc Agronomy, MSc Genetics and Plant Breeding, Soil Science, Plant Pathology, Entomology, Fruit Science, Floriculture and Landscaping, and Vegetable Science. So these are the various master's programs we are offering. And roadmap for the BSc Honors Agriculture, it is 4-year program. So in first year, we are having the fundamental courses. We are following 100% curriculum of the ICAR. The syllabus of each and every course, it is also as per the ICAR. So in the first year, as per the recommendation, then in the second year, we are having some elective courses with the core courses also. Then in third year, these are little bit advanced kind in comparison to first year and second year. And as well as elective courses are also there over there. Then in final year, there is no regular course. We have just followed the ICR guidelines. In fourth year, we are following, or we have the ELP modules. We are having the RAWE programs. So in fourth year, there is a main focus in the improvement of the skills of the students, as well as to generate the interest among the students for the entrepreneurship. So we are having various ELP modules, experiential learning programs we are having. Under this particular program ELP, as per the ICR recommendations, we are running 32 ELP modules. I will show you. So these are the different commercial flower production. It is one of the ELP module which we are running. So students, they work and they grow everything. Beekeeping, that is. Then mushroom cultivation, nursery management, seed production, vermicomposting. So we are having a separate ELP unit, ELP module related to all these areas where the students, they perform all the activities by themselves, all the museums also. We are having the practical crop production of the crops, seasonal crops. So we are having one course of the practical crop production in BSc third year in that is the fifth term and the sixth term. And in both, what happens? We have allocated a particular area to the students. So students, they perform all the activities. They grow a particular crop from the beginning to the till the end. Then we are having the production technology of the sugarcane. We are having a dedicated area of that. You can see the students, they are performing various activities related to the crop production by themselves in the field. Then harvesting of the wheat. Then these are the different areas of the field where the students, they perform the different activities. Then roadmap for the master's program. So we are, it is 2-year program. All the master program having the duration of the 2 years. So after the graduations, the students, they can go for their masters. So in MSc first year, there are the basic courses in first term. Then after that, there is the little bit advancement in the courses as per the recommendation of the ICARs. Then we are having the dissertation also. We are giving student the opportunity to do the minor in the another subject. For example, if any student will take the admission in the agronomy, then agronomy students can do the minor in soil science and in any other subject or in any other program. So for minor, major will be in agronomy, minor for minor, 3-4 courses need to be completed. So as per the ICAR guidelines, just we are implementing all these things so that the student get familiar, get the opportunity to get the knowledge of their core program as well as the allied programs. Then MSc agronomy, this is the field of the agronomy. You people can see. So we are conducting or we are giving the knowledge of the weed science, water and nutrient management, crop physiology, organic farming, and other related discipline. We are having the specialized faculties of these particular areas. So students, they can go for their dissertation in these different type of the areas. So this is the field of the agronomy. Then if I talk about the genetics and plant breeding, you can see it is again 2-year program. So this is the field of the genetics and plant breeding. And we are having around 30 faculty of the genetics and plant breeding. And they are, giving the problems to their students related to these areas. The quantitative genetics and applied plant breeding methods, then multi-seeded experimental design, then data analysis and interpretation, application of molecular tools in the plant breedings. So these are the different areas where the Department of the Genetics and Plant Breeding is offering the work. Now this is the soil science. So you can see we are having the system of the drip irrigation. So on the problem of the water management, the students, they have conducted their experiment in the field. Similarly, some of the students, they are working on the soil profiling. They check the soil quality and everything. So these are the different areas where the Department of the Soil Science is just given the problem to their students, soil formation, mineralogy, and everything. Then after that, plant pathology. It is also having, we are having a separate area of the plant pathology as well as the separate labs also. So on different problems, the plant pathology department is giving problem to their students. Then entomology. So we are having a very good developed labs of the entomology. So the students of the entomology, they are working on these problems like the insect ecology, biodiversity and the conservation, biological interactions and the insect toxicology. And some of the students, and at the graduate level, at the BSc level, under the experiential learning programs, students are working on the beekeeping also. So last year they sold I think 40 kg of the honey. It was organically produced in the the LPU farm itself. So we are having the boxes of the beekeeping, and accordingly the students, they are performing all these activities. So and by performing all these activities, students, they learn also. They learn about the marketing and everything. So such kind of the opportunities just we are giving to the students over here. Then it is MSc Horticulture Food Science. So we are having the various orchard over here. We are having the orchard of the papaya. We are having the orchard of the banana. We are having the orchard of the guava. Then we are having the orchard of kinnu. We are having the orchard of the mango also. We are having the orchard of the bear also. So all the fruit science students, they are working on these different aspects. So they are not having any kind of the problem just to perform their experiments. So as I have already told that how many orchards we are having. So all the students, they work as per their requirement or as per their requirement of their dissertation work. They go in the orchards and they perform their experiments. Then if I talk about the another program which we are offering, that is the floriculture and the landscaping. So we are also having a particular section of the floriculture where the different or the different varieties of the flower plants, they have been produced. It is very well maintained. It has been developed. So our students, they are working on these areas: flower biology, propagation, breeding, pre-harvest, pre and post harvest management, harvesting, landscape planning, landscape management, and everything. So then the last one, that is the MSc Horticulture Vegetable Science. There is a separate section of the vegetable science also. We are having high-tech polyhouses also, where the students perform their work, as well as they go for the protected cultivation of the vegetables also, production of the tomatoes, production of the other cucumber also they are doing, flower also. So there are different crops they are growing in these polyhouses under the protected cultivation practice or the technology. So, and these are the different areas in which the master's student of the vegetable science, they are working, like taxonomy, reproduction biology, vegetable breeding, biotechnology, biodiversity conservation, and there are so many other aspects also. So this is from my side. If anybody is having any kind of the query, it can be asked. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for this impactful, insightful, and informative webinar. And sir, your expertise and knowledge in this field is evident from the quality of discussion we had today, and your insights and perspectives provided a valuable information to attendees and helped to deepen their understanding towards this topic. So thank you so much, sir.
Welcome, ma'am. Thank you.
So we have few queries from the attendees. So can we take up those queries, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, please.
Okay. There is a query from Ashish Rai. He wants to know about the placement, and there is another query from Rahul. He also wants to know that after post graduation in agriculture from LPU, what are the opportunities we can explore to protect the environment? So I think these are two relatable questions, because they are asking about the placement as well as how they can contribute towards the environment or betterment of the environment. So anything on this, sir?
Yes, yes, definitely. So I will take the first query related to the placement. So I want to give the information that this time we have touched near about 400 placements till date. We are having a separate department of the training and placement. So that training and placement department at the school level is taking care all the placement related activities. And I will be very happy to share that from January to this is the beginning of the April, around 400 students after the BSc Honors Agriculture and some of after the MSc, they have been placed in different companies. So that is one. Second thing, after the MSc, what can be done in the field of the or for the environment? Yes, there are so many things can be done. Like if I talk about if the student take the admission in the agronomy, so we have to work on or we have to select such kind of the problems which are environment friendly, you know, rather than application or rather than you know, adopting such kind of the problems which are related to only the chemical which are related to application of only the chemical fertilizers. We should go for some sustainable approaches for the production of the crops. It will help to conserve the soil moisture also. It will help to improve the soil fertility also. It will improve the produce of the crop also, and ultimately it will improve the health of the livestock as well as health of the human beings also. So there are so many things can be done for the conservation of the environment. Organic farming can be adopted. Punjab is the state where maximum application of the chemical fertilizer takes place. We can work in this particular area.
Okay.
Punjab is the state. I have recently given the example that the water table, it is decreasing. We can work in that particular area. So these are so many things can be done.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. And sir, there is another query from Bunga Inosh. He wants to know that he is applying for MSc Agronomy at LPU. So he wants to know about the placement in government sector. So what is the
Yes,
scope of
definitely.
MSc Agronomy, sir, in government sector?
In case of the government sector, I have just shown you the list of the jobs, and I have already told that last month ICR just advertised so many posts related to the agriculture graduates as well as the postgraduates. Even one of my student, he completed masters from the LPU. Now he is in the ICR center. It is located in Arunachal Pradesh, and he is STO, Senior Technical Officer in ICAR. And he did MSc Agronomy from LPU. So after the completion of the masters, he went for PhD from the HAU Hisar, and then during the PhD, he qualified. He just qualified that particular exam. So there are so many things can be done. There are so many things in each and every state governments also. There are so many agriculture related jobs they offer. Like one of my student, he is working in Himachal government, and he also completed MSc Agronomy from LPU. He did BSc from Palampur. Then after that, he joined LPU, and immediately after the completion of the MSc, he selected for that particular job, and nowadays he is working in Himachal government. So there are so many jobs. State governments also advertise, as well as the central government also advertise in their different research stations, as well as the Krishi Vigyan Kendras.
Nice, sir. It's wonderful to hear that our alumni, they are reaching such greater heights. So thank you so much, sir. And sir, we'll take up last but not the least query from Kumari Anshika. She wants to know that why aren't we trying to prevent it? I think she is directing towards the climate change. And if we are trying to, then why are we not getting to know about it? So anything on this, sir?
Ma'am, actually, I could not understand the query exactly. Can you please repeat? Sorry.
Yes, sir. So she wants to know about the climate change, that why aren't we trying to prevent it? And if we are trying to prevent it, then why are we not getting to know about it?
Okay. Actually, there are so many reasons. First, there is the awareness. We know, for example, I am talking about the climate change, but after going back from this webinar, how much I am working for the environment? How much is the seriousness? It is okay that government has framed so many policies, so many rules related to the conservation of water, related to so many other things also. But at the society level, how much the peoples they are aware, and how much they are serious to implement or to work as per the policies. So that is very important, I think. So awareness first. After awareness, how much serious I am. I have also given one example that food waste is also contributing towards the climate change. So but if we see the wastage of the food, like sometime during the lunch, if we go in the canteens and the nearby places, we see that just people takes their plates full of the food, but after that, they do not consume it completely. They do the wastage. So it is also contributing towards the climate change. Similarly, I have talked about the chemical fertilizers. That is also. So chemical fertilizer, application of the chemical fertilizer, it is deteriorating the soil quality. if the soil quality will be deteriorated, it will also affect the water holding capacity of the soil. It will reduce the water table. So awareness at the society level and how much the people they are serious to adopt all these things. That is very important.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely. I completely agree with you, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for resolving all the queries of our attendees. And now we have few queries related to admission, how to enroll into BSc Agriculture, and what when the classes will commence. And another one is what is the admission process. So to resolve all these queries related to admission, we have our expert with us, Ms. Rachna Bajaj. So, ma'am, over to you and kindly navigate the students to the admission process. So over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ruby. So good evening, everyone. I hope, Dr. Ruby, I am audible and the screen is visible as well.
Absolutely, ma'am.
Okay, great. So I'll be just quickly sharing that how you can apply for admissions at the university at LPU. So for this, what you have to do is just simply visit our official website, which is www.lpu.in, as I have listed here. And once you open the website, you can see an icon of admissions on the top. So for your ease, we have segregated all the programs after 10th, after 12th programs, we have after graduation, we have after post-graduation, PhD programs as well. So I'll show you some programs related to the after 12th, the bachelor's program. So just click on this icon and all the disciplines which are available in the university at LPU will be right in front of you. So let's say we have for engineering, we have sciences, food technology, nutrition and dietetics. And here we have the agriculture program. And under agriculture, you can see the BSc Honors Agriculture program, which is a 4 years program with total 8 semesters. And I would like to mention that LPU is the first private university to get approval by ICAR for our agriculture programs. And once you move ahead, you can see the eligibility criteria, which clearly states that the student should score minimum 60% marks in 12th with English, physics, chemistry, and maths or bio or forestry as compulsory subjects. Students should also need to qualify the LPU NEST, National Entrance and Scholarship Test, which is organized by LPU, or CUET. Apart from this, if you have studied agriculture in 12th, that can be also the base for your eligibility, or 2 years diploma in agriculture after 12th or equivalent. So if you have any doubt related to your eligibility, just mail us your document of your last qualification at our email ID, which will be admissions@lpu.co.in. And once you scroll down, you can see we have listed down some of the student achievements of our agriculture program, the top rankings of the program, the curriculum for next 4 years. You can also see the curriculum for first year, second year till 4th year for BSc Agriculture Honors Program. And once you scroll down, here we have listed down the fees and scholarship of the program, the financial aspect. Although the without scholarship fees for this program goes 1,20,000 per semester, but we do have several scholarships for these students. Let's say if you score between 80 to 89.9% in your 12, you will directly fall in category 3, that is of 30%, and your fees will be reduced to 84,000 per semester. If you score between 90 to 94.9% in your 12th, your fees will be reduced to 35%, and your fees will be reduced to 78,000 per semester. And if you score 95% or above, then you will be eligible for 40% scholarship and your fees will be reduced to 72,000 per semester. And whatever the fees is being applicable to you will be applicable for next 4 years and 8 semesters. Let's say if you couldn't score well on the basis of your 12th, we have scholarship on the basis of the LPU NEST exam, the National Entrance and Scholarship Test. So this is the tentative cutoff. You can see that the test will be for 400 marks. And let's say if you score tentatively 130 marks out of 400, you will directly fall in the category 3 of, that is of 30%. If you score tentatively 210 marks out of 400, it will be 35% scholarship. And last but not the least, if you score tentatively 330 marks out of 400, you'll fall in category 1, being the highest scholarship. And not just this, you will have 2 chances in LPU NEST. In whichever chance you'll get the better scholarship, that one will be applicable. Once you scroll down, you can see some other scholarships we have mentioned. We have scholarships on the basis of your NEET rank. We also have scholarship on the basis of your JEE main percentile. So if you have any such result cards in the coming future, just share with us. We'll verify it and let you know whether you are eligible for scholarship on the national level test or not. We have some other scholarships for you on the basis of innovation, startup, and entrepreneurship. We also have scholarship for the toppers of education board if you fall in the top 20 students of the of your state board. So you can again mail us your results card when the result is out for 2023 at our email ID, which is admissions@lpu.co.in. Last but not the least, we have some financial aid. You can share such information with the near ones around you, those who are in need of such scholarship. We have financial aid for the economically weaker section, for single girl child, for single mothers, etc. We also have financial aid for serving retired defense, CAPF, paramilitary personnel and their dependents, financial aid to orphans, and financial aid to certain disability. So you can just go through our website and read all the guidelines related to any of our scholarships. And once we scroll down, here is another important information, the important dates which you need to follow to avail the maximum scholarship for this program. For the students, those who have already registered, their exam is scheduled between 1st to 15th April. Their results will be out on 18th April, and accordingly, then they need to participate in the seat preference part, which will be conducted between 18th April to 20th April. So once you have participated in the seat preference, the online counseling, your result, your rather allotment letters will be declared on 22nd April, and accordingly, you may proceed for your provisional registration for your seat booking between 22nd to 30th April. And for the students, those who haven't applied yet, again, this another slots will open on 11th April. The exams will be conducted between 16th to 30th April for those students, and the result will be declared on 5th May. So hurry up, students. And in case if you have any queries, feel free to get in touch with us. We have listed down our helpline numbers. As you can see on the right side, we have our schedule a call icon. We have our WhatsApp team available for you. You can also get in touch with our counselors through the live video counseling icon. They are available till 5 p.m. in the evening. And once you scroll down, you can see our helpline numbers listed down here on the website. So over to you, Dr. Ruby. I hope I have shared majority of the information which can be helpful for our students to apply for admissions at our university.
Absolutely, ma'am. Thank you so much for briefing the students about each and every step to reach out us for the admission process. So thank you so much, ma'am. So attendees, that's all for the day. My heartfelt gratitude to each and everyone to you for attending this webinar. Your presence, participation, and support was instrumental in making this webinar a great success. And experts, thank you. You have brought valuable insights and expertise to the table, and your presentation and discussions were both informative and engaging. We understand that your time is valuable, and we appreciate the effort you took to join us and help to create an environment of collaboration and learning that would be help for useful to the attendees. So, and attendees, we look forward to hosting more such informative webinars. So for that, keep a check on our website, that is www.lpu.in. So until next time, I, Ruby Gill, finally sign off the session. Thank you, everyone.